Russell Martin is the early signs are a bit worrying for Rangers fans that it's the same pattern emerges again. And again, relying on some players. And, some of these players have cost guys more jobs than Maggie Thatcher. And it's just like, and you can't keep going back to the same guys. So I think he's made some good signings. I think some of the guys that come in look the part, like Gassimer. I think I'm in a good game all night. That's a good yesterday. They need a striker. I think Rangers need a striker. I'm crying out for a striker as well. Another centre half, a left back. I think there's issues for Rangers. I mean, that's the thing. The narrative has been Celtic what they're lacking. I think people forgot what they've actually got.
Yeah.
Whereas Rangers have been focusing on what they've got, and they've kind of forgot what they're lacking.
Yeah.
And they've got some big gaps to fill in that team as well. If they want to even think about putting a challenge up, but they're 4 points behind. The chance that they're going to sit out the St Mirren game for the European qualifier, so they could theoretically be 7 points behind an Old Firm game. Which they lose, they could be 10 points behind in September.
I was painting that very scenario in my column for tomorrow, Mick.
Well, can you imagine the reaction? Can you imagine the reaction if I go 10 points behind in September? Well, we can, because it's happened the last 3 years, and managers had their backs against the wall at that point. So they're back in the same movie again.
I think the strange thing for me is, though, I'm watching, and obviously we know Russell Martin's an ideologist. He's got his theories on how the game ought to be played. I'm watching it, and I'm struggling to understand it. For example, I'm watching periods of that game yesterday, Mick, when they've brought in two really pacey wide wingers, and they're out on the touchline, and there's a bit of space. But see, rather than just pick a pass and just let one of them go and attack the area in front of them, time after time they went back the way, they went inside. If they did get finally across to the wide man, it was 5 passes. It's 5 passes for one will do. And that surely isn't what Russell Martin had in his mind's eye when he wanted to redesign the way they play, because it made it really easy. He's come in as the guy that's meant to help them deal with this low block and teams that come sit in at Ibrox. The way they played was absolutely handmade for Dundee's tactics yesterday.
Well, if you sat down and watched the last 2.5, 3 seasons of Rangers in Scottish football, every single game, you would have seen that exact scenario playing out dozens of times.
Mm-hmm.
Dozens of times, making games very easy not very easy for opposition, because they still got ability to cause problems, but playing a certain way of football that teams can set up with this. I mean, sit deep, and I'm not going to say low block, sit deep. I'm old-fashioned. Sitting deep and frustrating and letting them pass themselves out. I mean, it's we've seen it a million times in recent times with Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
They need to see something different. I thought Russell Martin, I still think he's a good appointment for Rangers. I think he needs time. It is going to be a bumpy start, but they need to see signs domestically that he knows how to break teams down. Yeah. Not seen it yet. I've not seen it yet. They still give away off a lot of chances as well, and you get the feeling that a right good team is going to take a few off them the way they play.
Well, they're giving away more chances now, Mike, with this style of play as well. So it's a difficult one for the Rangers fans to sit there, watch it, square it off, and think, we'll give you all the time and patience in the world. You're right. They need to get signed. They need to be given some sort of evidence that Russell Martin is going to move them in the right direction.